DreAllDay.com.
Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. Today's daily motivation is about our human ability to adapt. And this is, well, it's actually, the actual daily motivation is giving yourself real parameters, giving yourself real guardrails, and it's related to our human ability to adapt. And I'll explain to you why. So when I say real parameters, this is what I mean. And this is something that I write about in my Bulletproof Bulletin, which is a newsletter that I send out every month physically to members of Work On Your Game University. So if you're not a member of the university, I'll tell you how to become a member at the end of this video. But one of the things that I talk about in the latest issue, that's going to be the October issue that's going to be coming out. By the time you all see this video, it's probably already out, the October issue. It's about how to make sure you are getting more done over the course of a day. Instead of focusing on what you need to do, actually focusing on getting things done, like literally done, instead of saying all the things you need to do. And yes, there's a difference between the two. And one of the things that I tell people there is you need to take out your calendar, actually schedule out your day, block out the time that you're going to give yourself to get things done. And then here's the most important part, because some people have tried that, but then they don't actually stick to it. Whatever amount of time you give yourself to get things done, you need to get them done in that time. So if I say I'm going to record some episodes of my podcast, and I'm going to record 3 episodes, and I'm going to give myself 75 minutes to record those 3 episodes. I need to get all 3 episodes done in 75 minutes. If I say I'm going to record 2 videos like this video, I'm going to give myself 15 minutes, then I have 15 minutes to get it done. Or if I'm going to reach out to 5 leads that I have in my CRM about media appearances or speaking gigs or possible coaching prospects, and I give myself 30 minutes to do it, then I got 30 minutes. So whatever amount of time I'm giving myself, I had to get things done in that time frame. And here's what that means. Here's why that's important. Because the human animal, and that's all of us as humans, we have this amazing ability to adapt to any parameters that are put on us. In other words, if you give yourself an hour to get something done, you will take an hour to get it done. If you give yourself 45 minutes to do that thing, you'll get it done in 45 minutes. You give yourself 30 minutes, 15 minutes, you'll get it done in the amount of time that's given to you. That's also known as Parkinson's law, which states that a task will expand or contract given the amount of resources that are given to use it. This is also the reason why corporations, bureaucracies, and governments are very inefficient with money, because they tend to use whatever is given to them. And if you works in one of these, you know that at the end of the year, there are corporations out there and governments out there who have budget money that they haven't spent yet that they have to spend. So any of you who works with bureaucracies or something like that, especially you entrepreneurs out there and consultants, y'all should be reaching out to them near the end of the fiscal year, because if they got extra budget money, they got to give it to somebody. They might as well give it to you. But the whole point is, and that's a real thing. That's not a joke. I'm laughing about it, but that's a real thing. And the point is, when you tell yourself you only have this much time to get things done, you will get things done in that time. The challenge that many of you have, it's actually not even really a challenge if you think about it, is that you never actually held yourself to this level of accountability. And when you do, and you actually are disciplined enough to hold yourself to it and actually make yourself live up to it, you will be astonished at the level of performance, effectiveness, and efficiency that you can draw out of you. And you thought that what you needed was you thought it was going to take some kind of magic trick, or you thought it was maybe impossible for you to perform at that level, or that it was something special about other people who were performing at that level. Well, it is something special about them. It's simply that they had an insight and they knew something about themselves that you didn't know about yourself. But now, once you go try this, now you're hearing me say it, that's one thing, but when you go actually employ this and implement this, you'll see it for yourself. I was just listening to, I listened to a lot of like either audio courses, audio books, programs, coaching and things like that, coaching programs and things like that. And I was just listening to this audio tape before I started recording this video. And this guy is talking about how he knew this person who sold pots and pans. He was like a door-to-door salesperson. This is back in the day. Door-to-door selling pots and pans. And he was making $500,000 a year selling the pots and pans. And this guy wasn't even that great of a salesperson. He wasn't some flashy, eloquent, talk circles around you type of slick sales guy. He just sold a lot of pots and pans. And somebody said, well, how are you able to sell so many pots and pans? And the guy said, every day when I go out to sell, I do not go home until I've sold at least one set of pots and pans. And that was it. And that was his rule. I don't go home until I sold at least one set of pots and pans. Somebody said, well, what if you get to the end of the day and you haven't sold any? He said, well, I will not take a break. I don't go to the bathroom. I don't sleep. I don't rest. I don't eat lunch until I've sold a set of pots and pans. It gets to the end of the day, I would sleep in my car. And I would keep knocking on doors until I sell a set of pots and pans. Somebody said, well, what if you go the whole day, you haven't sold one? He said, well, if I didn't sell one in a day, then that means I got to sell 2 the next day. But most of the time I end up, hitting my numbers. I sell at least 1 set of pots and pans every single day. And that's pretty much what it is. If I got to sell 2 the next day, I sell 2 the next day. But I hold myself, the whole point is, he set a standard for himself and he held himself accountable to it. And that's why he was able to deliver at that level. And it's the same thing that I'm telling you. When you hold yourself accountable to a certain parameter, a certain standard, we tend to live up to those. The biggest challenge that many people have is that they never set a parameter for themselves. They never set a standard for themselves. Therefore, there's nothing to live up to. And this is usually what people produce, a whole bunch of nothing, because you haven't held yourself to a standard or a parameter. When you start doing it, all of a sudden your level of production will go up. The question is, what are you holding yourself? What standard are you holding yourself to? Because you can set that standard at any level that you want. And then that creates a whole different set of challenges, which we'll get to maybe in a later video. So with all that said, everybody, that's today's daily motivation. You want to get text messages from me. I send out messages guaranteed to have you focused, sharp, and on point intermittently. I don't put them on a schedule as of now, but I may sometime in the future. But you want to get in my text community either way. So text me at my number, 305-384-6894. And make sure you are in Work on Your Game University, because I told you I send out a physical magazine every month. I call it a magazine. Some may call it a newsletter. It's called the Bulletproof Bulletin every month, along with the Black Book every month. 2 physical mailings to your doorstep every single month. When you're a member of the university, go to workonyourgameuniversity.com and join us. Also, make sure you do all the YouTube stuff while you're here. Subscribe to this channel so you're getting the, when you come on YouTube, they'll let you know new video came out from whoever you're subscribed to. So make sure you're subscribed to me. Hit the notification bell so you get a notification every time we drop a new video. Make sure you like the video, share the video, leave a comment. Tell me the #1 thing you implemented based on what you heard in this video. So don't tell me what you got excited about. Tell me what you actually did, what you implemented based on what you heard in this video. Leave that down there in the comments. Work on your game. Dre all day.